Victoria Mickens and you're watching Comp Talk on Wild Shrimp TV. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about opening day for the championship tour that kicked off yesterday in Snapper Rocks, Australia. It was an interesting call for Jessie Miley Dyer, who is the Deputy Commissioner for the women's tour. The conditions were pretty subpar, but there were definitely some opportunities out there. So it was an opportunity for the competitors to get their feet in the wax and kind of get used to the contest and get the first round out of the way, the first few heats. And there was a definitely interesting phenomenon that took place yesterday. The lineup was full of blue bottle jellyfish, also known as man-o-wars, and I heard that a few of the competitors got stung while out in the water, so that is not too typical of an occurrence, especially for opening day. It's usually sunny and bright and everybody's excited. It was really cool though because the beach was full of spectators, and that's also not too common on the first couple of days of competition. It usually starts to get crowded towards the end of the waiting period. So yeah, it was definitely nice to see the women's side of the tour kick off yesterday, and now today they've moved into the men's heats, the first couple of heats for round one, and the conditions have improved, but I'm expecting them to significantly improve throughout the rest of the week. We saw some pretty good performances from, I would say, Sally Fitzgibbons, and Courtney Conlogue looked very sharp, and Carissa Moore. And all of the women, everybody was just getting used to the contest, getting their feet in the wax, getting ready to compete for the next several days and into the weekend, I'm sure. So it was just, as I said before, a way to get the first few heats out of the way. And now they're going to get the first few heats of the men's out of the way, so then they can really get into the meat of things into Friday and into the weekend. So I expect the contest to, everybody's looking very sharp, everybody's done a whole lot of work during the off season in terms of training and traveling and whatnot, so there's nothing more exciting than this 2017 tour right now. Yesterday, the WSL posted an interview with Ronnie Blakey, Pete Mill, and they were interviewing Ross Williams, kind of talking to him about a new role he'll be taking on this year. I was super excited to hear that Ross Williams will actually be coaching John Florence for the season. He is a commentator and he's an analyst throughout the year, and I value his input and his insight on the competitors, the venues, the performances. He gets down to the very specific nitty-gritty details. So it's going to be so cool to see him work with someone who already has such good natural talent and has obviously kind of been able to get the discipline part of things to be able to get his maiden world title in 2016, and see how Ross Williams can actually add to his regimen and tweak his performance a little bit and just kind of focus on the tiny little details that need to be improved, especially with someone that he mentioned yesterday. John is a very humble person, and he's always looking to improve, so there's not going to be any kind of problem there, and they have a really good relationship because they live right by each other on the North Shore of Oahu. So I'm just incredibly excited to see how that's going to turn out. Another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is the brand new intro for the WSL. Every day before Dawn Patrol, they would kick things off right at the top of the hour with an intro, and for the past 2 years it's been the same, and I love it. It makes me so excited to watch the contests, and I'm gonna miss Dawn Patrol so much. It used to be something that I would always tune into, and I'd get so excited the minute I heard the theme song and saw all of my favorite surfers. And now the new intro is so spectacular. It's so cool to see how an intro can show you how the competitors have really taken surfing to the next level. And you hear that all the time, but I genuinely think that we have so much more to learn about surfing and so many ways to take it, and the intro really reflected how all of the things that have happened in the past couple of years have really added and advanced the sport, especially because the surfing's going to be in the Olympics. So that was really exciting to see today. I'm going to head over and tune into the contest, and you should too at worldsurfleague.com. They are right now in the midst of round 1 for the men's, and I'm sure we'll see competition all day long, and I have no doubt that the contest will go into the weekend and we'll see some spectacular performances. Tune in to Comp Talk tomorrow to hear my input on day 2 of the Quiksilver Roxy Pro.